Hey there guys, it's Mia here. I'm just sharing my morning view and a couple of my pelican friends. It's a beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day. I was hoping you could see these pelicans when they dive. It's pretty amazing to see. And just hearing that ocean is just so incredibly calming. So guys just floating on the water, doing this thing. It's beautiful. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're seeing this. These sounds never get old. And nobody's here. No one's here. I always say when there's no one here, there's plenty of room for all of us, right, Lois? Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I'm so excited. Super excited. Early start on the beach today. Working a little bit and got so much done. This is my way to work and I love it, okay? Creating amazing content, doing what I love, serving my clients at my highest and tallest level, and doing work that ignites my soul. And I'm into it. Like literally this idea that I could take my background, my gifts, and my talents and package it to do work anywhere that I chose around the world was the mission. And it's my mission to support more women in achieving exactly the same, because it is possible. You can do your work and it doesn't have to be in your office in a conventional sense. It doesn't have to be in a cubicle. It doesn't have to be with coworkers that you don't want to hang out with every day. There's a way to take your knowledge, your gifts, and your talents and to put them in a structure through licensing, coaching, consulting, training that allows you to work completely different. And you know, I always have to get fired up because it just, I'm telling you, it ignites my soul to do what I love. And I was talking just yesterday about how I've worked all my life and I've done it really hard. And to build an amazing business, let's be clear, it takes work. So that's real. But the models matter. And if you want to step inside of a different model and learn how to take what you're doing, your professional background, your education, your gifts, and your talents, and you want to learn step by step how to package your knowledge, I'm here to help you. Go to Redrick.com and watch my webinar. It's 100% free, and it'll show you exactly what to do to get started as a first step. Free. Redrick.com. Or if you've been watching me for a long time and you keep saying, I'm coming, Mia, I'm coming. Come on. Come on. All right? Because life is fun on the other side. Give yourself 18 months. Invest in yourself at the highest and tallest level because you deserve it. You deserve it. And your life can be unrecognizable, not from some hype perspective or some fake business. Building a real business around what you know how to do. There are people that will pay you right now, companies, organizations, agencies, individuals who want the knowledge that you have. They want the answers for the problems that you know how to solve. And likely you just don't know how to put those things in a structure. But I know how to do that, and I can show you how to do that. And I want to show you how to do that. But you got to take that first step and invest in yourself. I invite you to the Next Giant Experience Master Training. I know you guys have heard me talking about it over and over again. And I'm going to keep talking about it because the results speak for themselves. And I know sometimes we need reminders to show up for ourselves, but at some point you have to make that commitment and decide now's the time. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after the kids graduate, not after every single thing in your life is done. Because, and in reality, unless you are all of who you are, your kids don't get to know you. You know, you don't get to show up as powerfully as you'd like, right? Good morning, Lisa. Lisa, this is totally your jam, right? I was trying to find this little pelican. It's a pelican family out here doing their thing. And, it's amazing. Lisa, I would love to bring you on. I don't know if you're dressed or not, but if you are, I'd love to bring you on camera. But I was just talking about, listen, you can do this, guys, and let's not make this. Okay, yeah, I know. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. It's not a pipe dream. It took me a while. It took me 18 months to build an amazing business, but the view is the same. Okay. And I know you've heard a lot of overnight success stories, and they're amazing stories, and I love those stories, and many of my clients have achieved that. But it took me 18 months to change my life forever. And I was willing to make the commitment of money, time, energy, effort, because I knew for a fact that 40 years, 40 to 60 hours a week for someone else was not my shortcut. So that's what I have for you today. I just wanted to share my view with you because it's incredible. And this is how I started my morning. I've been out here for about an hour shooting some content, which you'll see soon, and just doing what I love to do and having fun building my business and elevating women with packaging their knowledge at the highest level and thinking of ways to be able to reach them when you're coming, right? I know you're coming. Okay, I know it. And you are there, and you're there, and I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you, and it's an honor to have the opportunity to work with giants, women who say yes to themselves and figure it out, who overcome their excuses, who take 100% responsibility for the work. Okay, you ready? Okay, all right, let me bring you on. Lisa, I love to play. Lisa. Okay, I just sent you an invite. Okay, impromptu. All right, but I love it, and I've never done a live at the beach before, but I love it. Lisa, hey,
Good
gorgeous.
morning. Okay,
I
only
love
for
it.
you what I was hopping up out of bed anyway because I was laying there thinking about my day, and you popped on and I said, you know what? I got to start going on and doing some video on my divorce is not a destination.
That's right. Well,
Yes, to
tell
remind
everyone
people.
who you are, what you do.
Hello, folks.
Sure.
I am Dr. Lisa Summerour. I'm an engagement and empowerment coach. I help people find their different paths to empowerment. And one of the ways I do that is through my Divorce is Not a Destination program, which is specifically designed for folks who have gone through a divorce and have lost some of themselves in the process. It is not a place to be stuck. It is something that you have experienced. It's not who you are. And there is an incredible life waiting for you on the other side. So don't be held down by the guilt, shame, or disappointment that you might have experienced going through divorce. I'm here to help people realize you can live your dream. This is my yard. This is where I work. This is also what it looks like when I travel, like where Mia is right now.
So, Lisa, what I love, okay, is the work that you do. And then do you have a Facebook or how can they reach
Yes,
you? A
people
podcast? I
can,
know you have a podcast.
yeah, people can find me on Facebook at Dr. Lisa Summerour Empowered. And my podcast, if you go to my website, liveempoweredinstitute.com, you can find me there. But my podcast is Live Empowered. And if you get me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, I'm sorry, you'll get my access to my podcast. I'm loving
Awesome.
my podcast. Matter of fact, you can join me in my live audience every Thursday, just about every Thursday. Some days I move it, but Thursday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific on my podcast, Live Empowered. And my series there is Divorce is Not a Destination.
So,
I am going
Lisa,
to rally all of you divorced people into sheer joy.
Lisa is the perfect and most amazing expert, and you guys absolutely should follow her. And she's a giant inside of our community. And she attended firsthand the Giant Experience Master Training. We talked about it weeks ago.
Oh,
But for the people that are here right now who don't know what the Giant Experience is, which is a master training that helps you package your knowledge, but it's really so much more than helping you take your background, your gifts, and your talents and put in a structure. It's so much more than just great training. What for you would you say was the biggest part for you, like the aha? Come into the giant experience. What did it do for you?
I would say two things. One, it's the community. It's being in a community of like-minded people. Some of you are look at watching this right now, and you know that you're living in a reality where you feel like you're a unicorn. And there's nothing wrong with being a unicorn. You should be the sunshine, rainbow, cotton candy, lollipop land you. The challenge is you're the only one. And when you get in a land full of giants, you realize I'm in a room full of other unicorns. And that makes you rise. It just elevates you to a deeper level to go, because the folks around you love you, but they can't get you to that next level, just them alone. You need a group of unicorns. That's what the giant experience is. The other thing it did for me, it helped me realize everything that we do creates someone else's. So some of you have life experience, a work experience, educational experience, all of these things. And what Mia helped me realize is that package right there, that
Yeah.
package is where all my power was. It's where all my teachings are. It's where my value is sitting. It's all connected. And it's crazy because I teach tangible and intangible assets, and I was missing all my own intangibles.
Yes. I love this, because a lot of times, people think like, okay, I've done like all these classes before, I've been in coaching, or they're hearing everything, blah, blah, blah. But it's not really just about that. It's understanding that there is a way for you to take who you are and for you to introduce your unique soft skill, divorce, okay, or a hard skill, a professional background, your education, your gifts, your talents, and put it in a structure to monetize, because you're able to create change with what you know how to do. So it's
Yes.
not just putting together a course for the sake of putting together a course. Because if you build a course and nobody buys it, then there's no profit, there's no freedom, and there's no change in impact with your skills and your talents. So it's
Hmm.
not just about building a course. It's about knowing how to pull out of yourself with the right mentorship, how to pull out of yourself what it is that you could be doing at the highest and tallest level. And it's also about knowing how to stand in your value, right?
Yes.
Because like a lot of people who are incredibly brilliant are underselling or trading time for dollars. So
Hmm.
what's your take on that, Lisa, just in your own opinion?
Well, my doctorate degree, my dissertation is on mentoring. So, folks, you don't have to. And look, I love higher education. If you are in school getting an advanced degree right now, I am cheering for you. I'm just going to be real clear. If I had met Mia and done the giant experience before I stepped into a doctorate program, I don't know that I would have stepped into a doctorate program. And if I had, I would have probably had the money to pay for it cash. But so the thing is you have to be able to look at all of the stuff that you're bringing to the table and figure out how you can package that to move it forward. And one of the things I realize is the life that I've been living is the life that I can help other people learn to live for themselves in their own way. That this whole idea of being divorced and it makes you less than, it makes you feel horrible, doesn't have to be your experience. But having a mentor to get that out of you, to help you realize that. And what I think people need to understand is that it's a process. This is not a check the box. This is not all of the things in my world are going to be better. Now, I will tell you, the giant experience all by itself will change you. If you come in expecting change, you'll leave that giant experience with enough experience and information to do whatever you're doing differently and better. Then if you go another step, the opportunity that you have to really stay in that space so that you can learn, because even now, I don't know, 8 months into the giant circle, which is a different, maybe as I mentioned, that was the giant experience. But even this many months in, I'm still having stuff pulled out of me because
We
we've
had
been,
past last night, the
yeah,
past sales method, right? Like last night.
yep. So this is right after the giant experience and just stepping into giant circle. It just clicked last night that 8 months ago, working with the company that I work with, I settled $162,000 contract. I wrote it out. I put the offer in. I put the incentive in. This is all stuff that I got from Mia on how to write an incentive into an offer so that the client is ready to act now. And I'm a salesperson. I've been doing sales for a long time. And I love the fact that it's not sales, it's offering, right? And so it's comfortable, it's fitting with how I live my life, it's fitting with
Yeah.
how I always wanted to do business. And it's taking things up a notch, but it's giving me more confidence than I have ever had before in my life. And I was a pretty darn confident person.
You're a pretty amazing person. I want to speak to this idea around competition, because I think competition is irrelevant when you own what you do. There's a unique mix that each and every one of us have inside of us, our talents, our skill, our education, the failures we've had that we've overcome. And that's what allows us to be perfectly suited to be giants in the business that we create. So what is your, what's your perspective on that and your understanding around competition as it's related
Yeah.
to you using all of who you are?
There are going to be coaches coming and going, and you're going to get what you focus on. You're going to
Yeah,
grow what you focus on. If you want to focus on what other people are doing and how they're doing their business and how they're making offers, and oh my gosh, this person is already making money doing something like what I do, then that's where you're going to pour your energy, and that's what you're going to grow. You'll grow nothing from that. If you
correct.
take, yeah, if you take what it is that you do and how you do it and understand there's always going to be a need and how you show up and focus on that and
Yes.
bringing that out. And you said something last night too. When we take our attention off focusing on the client and start focusing on ourselves, when you're doing that comparison thing, comparing,
Yeah.
that's one of the seven deadly sins. Comparison.
Yeah.
There's just another book just came to mind, Kim George, and I can't think of the title of the book, but one of the things it talks about is the danger of comparing ourselves.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
danger of you
Yeah.
will reap nothing. You will grow no fruit from comparing yourself to somebody else. You can look at someone as an example, but
Yeah.
unless you're under them as a mentor or an apprenticeship, and even then, you're emulating to learn the process that they're
Yeah.
using. You
Yeah.
have to infuse your own individuality into the process and then make it
That's
your
correct.
package. So you're not stealing other people's packages and
Yeah.
rename.
Or thinking, I've always said and taught my clients that, like, imagine if you saw someone selling something online. You don't even know if what they're selling sells.
It's
Okay.
selling,
Or
right?
what if they don't know their value? Like, let's say somebody's charging, I don't know, $200 an hour for something, and you pull that number off and you start selling something for $200 an hour. It could be that you should be selling something for 20 grand. So the
Yes.
deal is, you must package who you are and what you bring to the table, and understand that that's distinct for each and every one of us. And that's what I love about our giant conversations, is because there is not one price for everyone. It's
Mm-mm.
based on what you bring to the table, the value of the transformation that you
Yes.
bring. And I think it's such a disservice to your skill, your highest skills, to not be all of who you are. And the world really does need us to really think about, what is it that I know how to do, not what
Right.
anybody else knows how to do. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant in the game.
And Mia, you help us literally itemize what that is.
Yeah.
And that's how you come to understand your value, folks.
Yeah.
If you have not been able to sit down and take what it is that you do and
Yeah.
itemize it so that
That's
you
right.
can see a line by line, this is what I
Yeah.
offer, this is
Correct.
what makes it different, and then
Yeah.
be able to say, now this is the value. Because I work with people all the time who do not understand the value of what they're bringing to the table, and
Right.
they're underselling their
Right.
offering. And
Right.
people may think that that's a nice thing. It's like, oh, well, they're not. No, it's not a nice thing, because I just said to someone yesterday, I was talking to an attorney yesterday, and I said, attorneys can only do pro bono work because they've made enough money to be able to
Yeah.
afford to do pro
That's
bono work.
right. That's
You
right.
cannot make a living doing pro bono work.
That's right. That's right.
You will go broke in a week. You will
Yeah.
not be able to, you won't be able to get the first month's rent up. So you have to understand, folks, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. If you're doing something similar, the name
Yeah.
sounds the same, when you item, that's fine. But be able to itemize your list and be
Yeah.
able to figure out what is the value of these things I'm bringing to the table,
That's
so that
correct.
you can offer something and feel whole and leave somebody feeling at their best for receiving it. People love getting quality stuff. That's why
Yeah.
designer stuff sells.
That's right. So, okay. So last night was the release of the Path Sales Method. So it's the very first time you heard it. So you can't give it away, okay? But what was your biggest aha from that sales process last night? What, or was it?
I feel like I'm a cheater because, I've been in your program now for so many months that I was like, oh, that was in this module and that was in this. You just packaged her own stuff, which is beautiful.
Yes.
Like Mia literally does what she teaches and she teaches what she does. For me, it's the simplicity of it.
Yes.
So that's where I will leave. It's the simplicity of it. And again, it's the sales style that's not going to feel like a sales style. That's what people you really need to understand. If you are someone who has been afraid of sales,
Yeah.
you're not comfortable talking about, it's a mind shift.
Yes,
It's a mindset change. You
that's
got to
right.
understand that when you realize what your value is, you will understand how to make it money for your client. And when you're focusing on your client, it's a whole
Yes.
different conversation.
That's correct. That's correct. So Lisa, is there something I didn't ask you that I should have? Because I didn't even know you were going to be here today.
Girl,
So.
I literally had to say, let me put the pajama top on and come out on the. No, I'm just glad to see you out here living your life. And when you see a mortar and a palm tree, I'm there with you in spirit.
Why see
But
there's some palm trees over there?
this is
Behind
what? This is the thing. You teach us to design the life that you want to live
Yes.
and build your career to accommodate that.
Yes.
And that's a mind-blowing for a lot of people because they've never thought of it. They work someplace and then they figure out, how can I design my life to work around this job? And I think one of the reasons you clicked with me immediately is you were already speaking my language, because my vision board was everything. And I woke up one day and realized I was living in it. And so
Yes.
for people who want to live they want to make their dream, their reality better than any dream they ever had. That's
Yes.
possible. And we just all need to understand that we need help getting there. You need to
Yes.
find the right help. Find somebody that can give you proof that what they say they do is what they do. Mia does that for us.
Yes. So powerful. I want to thank you for being here. Was this good, guys, or was it good, right? Was it good or was it good? And it's always amazing when it's from the heart. I love you, Lisa. You know that.
Love you.
And
I'm
I
going to go
thank
have
you so
coffee
much.
now.
I thank you for joining us. And then thank you for the stars. I appreciate you guys for doing that. I appreciate you. Have a great and amazing day. Bye.